So Claire, you recently joined us here in Campion Insurance. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a financial advisor. I just joined Campion there about a month ago, and I'm based in County Kilkenny.
So Claire, yourself and I share something in common. We both recently changed jobs. And one of the big stressors that I find in changing a job is what to do with the pension pot I had in the old company. If you were my financial advisor, what would you be advising me to do?
It's very common nowadays. People aren't staying with the same employer for 40 years. So generally when I meet clients, they're changing jobs every 2 to 3 years. And what happens is when you leave the job, you'll automatically lose benefits like income protection, health insurance, but you do retain a benefit to all of the money invested in the company pension. So it is really important that you treat it as an asset and build it into your financial goals.
Do you think consolidating is a good idea, or does that depend on the person?
Yeah, well, look, absolutely. I mean, you don't need to worry about what to do with the pension. Is it a right decision to move it? Your financial advisor will look at all of the pensions that you have, and they'll make sure that, if it's in the best interest for you to move it, that it is moved. But sometimes it's best to keep it where it is. One of the biggest advantages of moving the pensions is it's much easier for you to keep track of where the funds are invested, how they're performing. Rather than having to go back to old employers and try to get information off them, you have a lot more control over how the funds are managed.
So one of the things that I find hardest to do in terms of pensions is the pile of paper I wind up with. And, even personally, I would think if I had it all consolidated into one, at least I'd only get one pile of paper.
Of course.
Are there some advantages to consolidating your pension pot, and what would you say they are?
Absolutely. So consolidating your pension pots makes it a lot easier for you to keep track of how the funds are performing. You have a lot more control of how the funds are invested. And from age 50, you can actually go in and get 25% of the fund value out tax-free. So that's great. I find some clients who don't realise that they can do that. Perhaps there's a big plan coming up or a big birthday, and they can go in and access some of their pension pot.
So for anyone watching us here today, if they wanted to contact you or any of your colleagues in the financial services team, how do they do that?
Of course, so they can go on campion.com or phone 0818 297 600.